How is it going, everyone? And welcome to finally the car reveals for Season 8 of League of Europe. In case you guys don't know by now, my name is Jay Cole, usually covering at the Division 2 streams, and a bit of an old-timer around here. Joined alongside me for this evening to give you also the car reveals, we have got QVR Verstappen.
Hello, everyone.
We have got Mr. XL Larkin.
Good evening.
And we have also got Swip. I'm not going to say the rest of your name because I don't know if I'll butcher it.
Well, hello there.
And yeah, as I said, we're going to be going through all of the car picks for yourselves for Division 4, Division 3, Division 2 and Division 1. I will say that a lot of us managed to get, well, I'll say a lot of us, I think Division 3 was the only one that made it slightly easy, in the case that we managed to get all the car picks. I don't know for Division 4, I know Division 2 and Division 1, you guys were saying it just before we started recording, it was a bit difficult for a couple of them, but as I said, we did try to get as many as we could for for pretty much everyone in each division. So without further ado, just so you lot aren't kicking and screaming in the YouTube chat, we'll kick off straight away with Division 4. Swit, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, so default was also quite easy. Everybody got their car picks, so that was great. At least one of their top three. We'll start off with Mercedes. In the Mercedes will be Ryan B and Jordan. Red Bull, Energetics with Harry Neorag, I think it's called. I have no idea, but I hope I say his name just as well as I would say mine. In the Ferrari, Jess Gamer and Jamie Met, also the duo of D5 last year. In the McLaren, possible constructor champions, I guess. Connor O'Keefe with EVG Damon. In the Alpine, H. Maguire with Sirunche, also a great pace there. Aston Martin will be Old School with Robertson, I guess. AlphaTauri will be Jay Hings and Ben Scott. In the Alphas will be Jav and Siaban NL. In the Haas will be Poldepus with Axel KRS. And last but not least, named after a circuit last year, I guess, it was Ibo, and it will be myself, Swip.
Right, who have we got winning?
Yeah, I guess Connor O'Keefe for the drivers, and I also think they have a really big chance in the constructors, like I said. So.
Well, I know Ryan B's been bigging himself up to be D3, and he wants to really be there. So I do think that Mercedes pairing looks strong. I think Ryan B is one that could go for the title. Let's see if he lives up to his own promise. As you know, I think the pace here is quite spread out. But yeah, I think Mercedes, maybe McLaren as well. They're the favourites looking at it.
I don't know about Larkin. I'm rooting for my AOR boys. I'm rooting for Energetics and Harry. It's an interesting pairing, and I mean, Energetics got in it last season. I think he wants a bit of redemption for that. So I'm rooting for him. I think he can, knowing his pace, he can probably get to top of D4, and hopefully that Red Bull pairing is going to be strong. Like you said, Connor O'Keefe as well. We're definitely up there for a challenge. And the Aston Martin pairing kind of intrigues me, I'm not going to lie. Like, Oscar and Robert, it's a bit of... I mean, obviously Robert is returning back to League of Europe after a long hiatus. But, yeah, Mark is only just going to get quicker on his steering wheel. I'm sure by the time Bahrain comes around, he might end up wanting to go back on his controller. But, you know, you've signed that contract now, Mark. You have to stick to it. But, yeah, no, if I'm going to anyone, the Red Bull pairing are the ones that are intriguing me the most.
I'll go a little bit different then, and I'm sure one of this pairing is probably in the stream chat, desperately hoping that somebody shouts them out. So I want to go for Alfa Romeo to win it, mainly because Steben came... Where did he come in D4? He came 7th in D4 last season. He won 3 races in D4 last season. Yeah, it's a new game, but with the patch, it's not as much of a new game as what it was 48 hours ago. So I think he might be able to like strap Jav into his backpack a little bit. if only Jav had gone to his card reading thing last week, he'd know whether he's going to win the title or not. But unfortunately, he missed it to race with us. But I think, yeah, those Alpha boys could pull something out of the bag and get themselves a cheeky little constructors title. But yeah, like you boys have said, I think there's a good few teams who are going to be up there, who are going to be hoping at least that they can be in that constructors fight.
Well, I think at least 3 teams if we're calling it all out at the moment as it is. So that looks like set to be a good season in D4.
I was just about to say, like, I think D4 might actually be one of the closer ones that we could probably pick from. Normally, it's either Division 2, Division 3, but D4 I think is the one that could spruce up a bit of a championship fight. So I am kind of intrigued to keep an eye out on that one whilst I'm doing Division 2. I will try and keep a side eye on that because I think that could be a bit of an interesting one. But I suppose we'll move on over to Division 3, which I'll be doing for myself as the organiser for that one. Like I said, I've managed to get everyone somehow their top 3 car picks, probably thanks to Major just for not really caring as to which team he's in. So thank you for making my life a bit easier. But we'll start off with the Mercedes duo of ERT Jordan and Matty MP26. In the Red Bulls, we've got Cam K and Giant Bravery. The Ferrari pairing, which in my opinion I think could be up there as one of the constructors contenders, are Steve Day and Patsa Yapsa. In the McLarens, I've got URL Chris and Ghost 72 UK. Again, a very strong contenders as well. In the Alpines, I've got Matt Tibos and They Hate Melty. In the AlphaTauri is a QVR pairing of Chill and Alt Maverick. In the Aston Martins is MCR and Aledi, probably my favourite pairing. In the Williams is Ryan Belshaw and Harry F. In the Alfa Romeos, YHIY and XL Major. And in the Haas are Flip Namsram and Slayer. And like I said, I think the Ferrari pairing, the McLaren pairing, and I'll say the AlphaTauri pairing as well. I think it's another 3-way fight between those 3. I know URL Chris and Ghost both showed their pace in the pre-season races. Patsy Yapsa being a title runner-up last season in Division 4. Now in Division 3, Steve Day was starting to pick up his pace. I think it's going to be tight between them. I think this is more about consistency rather than who's going to be the quickest. I think that's where we start to see the difference shown between a lot of them as well.
I was agreeing with you up until you said AlphaTauri. I think they're going to be up there for the most DNFs out of any pair. I think you're sleeping on Alpine with Matt Tibos and Melty. Melty's a decent enough driver. He'll be solid in that division. Matt Tibos is a historically solid D2 driver. He struggled on this game, but I know after the patch came out, he was saying that I think yesterday he drove more hours yesterday on the game than what he had done in the whole lead up to yesterday. So if he's actually enjoying it a bit more, practicing a little bit more, I think Matt Tibos is going to be massive in this division. And obviously that will lead Alpine up there. But I'd say between them and Ferrari would probably be my 2 picks. Maybe Williams with a cheeky little shout as well.
Yeah, that Williams pairing definitely intrigues me. I know both of them have improved towards this game. I don't know if that's still the same after the patch. Obviously, a bit of a guess in the dark with everything changing, basically. I know Chill want to say me that AlphaTauri's up there. I think if he gets his things together a little bit, Chill could maybe be up there for the title, but he would need to fix a few things, I have to say, and he can agree with me there as well.
Well, I think Ferrari, McLaren and Alpine will do a good job. I'm rooting for Harry F in the Williams, like the Williams pairing already got discussed. I think he did well last year. I think he could do well this year. He's consistent as well. Looking forward for myself to keep an eye on this division as it's running. That's the earlier time compared to the time I'm running.
No, without a doubt. And I said I think there's just a few other there's a few other teams, obviously, that we haven't really talked about. Like I said, probably my favourite pairing, Aston Martin, MCR, and Aledi. I think that's going to be an interesting one. They're either going to be always towards the top or always towards the bottom. I think it's literally either end of the spectrum for the both of them. Hasses I can see to be in the same of Flip and Slayer. So it's just about. I think it is just about consistency throughout this entire division. If they are just as consistent, then I think they're pretty much going to win it. And I know Kanke is known for it as his consistency, so maybe he could play a small little part in that. But moving on over to Division 2, Larkin, want to take us away?
Oh, I'd love to. I'll sort of preface it by saying that Division 2 was really difficult for car picks because we've got Rick and TDB who both automatically get their first choice as reigning champions, and then other people would still pick in the cars that they wanted. So it's ended up with every team bar one getting one of the 3 cars that they chose. So we've done fairly well, but yeah, I'm fully expecting some people to be complaining about their cars. But anyway, starting with the Mercedes, we have got the returning D2 duo, I believe, of Scream and Creco. In the Red Bulls, we have got Dari and Taupe. In the Ferraris, it's Rick and Brent. In the McLaren, it's the clearly best team in the division of myself and Killer Blue. In the Alpine, it's got Nathan. I'm hoping on the graphic we can put a little star next to his name, and Slash. In the AlphaTauri, it's the one pair who did not get any of their choices, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Nolan pushing me off in a Fall Guys 1v1 yesterday. But it is Nolan and Luke HD. In the Alfa Romeo, it is TDB and Lix. Then in the Williams, it is Ben JS and RJ. In the Haas, it is Rex and More Games. And in the Aston Martin, it is Bunty and Flex. I'll kick things off with my prediction. I think Alpine are the favourites on paper, but are we going to be seeing Nathan in Division 2 for the whole season? Again, with the changes, it looks like he might be able to get his pace back from last game, in which case he'll be moving up to Division 1 fairly quickly, and that Alpine team won't exist anymore. I think alongside them, the Red Bull pair are probably one to look out for. Dari and Taupe, I think both in Division 3 last season, but up near the top, and have looked good in pre-season, have looked good in the social races, etc. So they'll be very good. Ferrari again, Rick has looked good on paper. Brent's a very solid driver. There's a whole bunch of drivers that are going to be up there. You look at D2 last season, and it was just about who could actually put together a string of results, and no one was able to. So if there is anyone this season who can do that, then they'll be the driver that's up there. They'll be the constructor that's up there. But I don't know what you guys think. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Well, I think it's going to be consistency and attendance. I think last year you saw in Division 2, I think the attendance wasn't that very well as well. 3 guys in it to the end. I think that will happen this year as well. I do think, praising you, Larkin, in this case, that the McLaren looks one of the stronger teams, so I think you guys will be in it to the end. Alpine as well. Yeah, and I have no clue who we will have for 3rd and 4th and 5th, but that's going to be very close.
I think this grid looks absolutely interesting in every aspect you could imagine. So there's a lot of interesting pairings. I think after the divisions were announced, it was already quite clear that it's the most chatty division in both a good and bad aspect, I think. But yeah, on track, this could go anyway. If Nathan can find his pace back, I think he's one of the clear favourites to move up after round 1. I have to say about that, obviously. And then another pairing that intrigues me is the Williams pairing. Ben JS looked pretty quick in the game so far. RJ is always quite consistent. He's one that can string some results together. So I definitely wouldn't rule that pairing out at all.
As long as he doesn't drive into the back of other Excel drivers, he could be okay. But No, I mean, yeah, I think you have to kind of say that Alpine's are the clear favourite. Nathan and Slash. I don't think there's really any other pairing that could probably challenge them. You may have a couple close ones, as a Darian type, like you were saying, Larkin. Dave looked quite good on this game. Rick has looked pretty good on this game. Brent, I haven't really seen too much. If he is looking good on this game, I suppose we will see throughout the season. That Nolan and Luke pairing as well. I don't want to say sleep on them either. I know Nolan, he always does this, he bigs himself up, and I've got to admit, I kind of did the same with him last season. Didn't really work out for him, but this season, him and Luke's looked very quick on this game just to start off with, and if Nathan wasn't in this, I would argue and say Luke could be up there as one of the top ones for Division 2 as well, but it's just whether I know Luke is relatively consistent as it is. It's just whether he can have his teammate with him to keep that consistency. Nolan, again, he's one that's usually either very good or very bad, and I'm sure he don't mind me saying that because he probably agrees. I think Nolan could be it. Nolan's going to be a bit of a factor as to whether AlphaTauri are going to be up there or if they're just going to be the sort of mid-team. One final one, Rex as well. Rex has been pretty good on game start. More games. I know he's only just joined the league, but from what I've seen from the preseason races so far, he's pretty consistent. He's good at his qualifying pace is good. The race pace may not translate it, but if he just keeps it as consistent, I think it could be another commentated / down of the division. Where if he just doesn't pick up any penalties, I think he's a shoo-in for at least a top 7, top 6, anything like that. So. The Haas pairing and the AlphaTauri pairing, I don't want to say sleep on them, but again, anything can happen in this division. It's Division 2. It always happens in there, so I guess we'll see. But I suppose we better move on now to our final division, Division 1. Stefan, take it away.
Thank you very much. We'll be looking at a very interesting grid, you have to say. Starting off in the Mercedes, we have quite a pairing of XL Rocco and the nemesis of his old teammates, basically, Ariel Jurun. Very interesting pairing. In the Red Bull, we have XL Jaco and XL Dan. Then in the Ferrari, we have Ariel Wouter and Isakush. In the McLaren, we have the Portuguese duo of QVR Maledictus and QVR Sneaky. In the Alpine, we have a reuniting pairing from back in the old days in Season 4. They were together in D2, we have QVR Packer and Ariel Carmentalist. Then in the AlphaTauri, NSX Montana is returning to Division 1 with XL Gary as his teammate. Great bit of charity done by the Swissman there. Then in the Aston Martin, we have a very strong pairing. NSX Connors looking incredibly quick in this game. And PTR Lovercar, new driver to LOE, looks very quick. Then in the Williams, we have Ariel Resify, promoted from all the way from Division 4. Now made a huge jump and ended up in Division 1 now. He's teaming up with TF Rudy, and that'll be a quick pairing as well. Then next up, we have the defending Constructors champions of myself and Campbell, who followed the title himself last season by salvage the Constructors, obviously. And then in the Haas, we have Ariel Peace and Emily Jill Bream ending off there. And you have to say Aston Martin looks, to me, the favourites for the Constructors, to be honest.
Yeah, Aston Martin are favourites. AlphaTauri might be the sort of underdog fan favourites, just to try and get Gary some form of D1 title. Williams, I say tentatively. Rudy's rapid. He's PSGO F1, right? But if he's putting a lot of effort into practicing for that, then maybe he's not going to be putting the effort into practicing for whatever track we're doing. So he might not be as quick there. But yeah, I'll agree and put my money on Aston Martin. I think they're probably pretty comfortably the favourites.
Well, I'll differ from that. Let's say the champions will retain their title. Let's go for it. I'll put my money on that. Do say that, like you guys, I think Aston Martin will be very quick. Who knows, maybe the debutants can also get the title, the driver's title in this case, so I'll put my money on Lovercar. For the rest, it looks close. This one maybe is too difficult to call in the whole general aspect, but yeah, I'm looking forward for this one. It's going to be really unpredictable in the first races of the season. Who's going to be the one that will dominate? So, yeah, let's see.
I think there's two teams that are being completely slept on. You got the Haas pairing, Pease and Jewelbream. They've both been just disgusting in the pre-season races. Jewelbream especially, and him teaming up with Pease, I think that's a pairing that I think could battle for the constructor with obviously the Aston Martin. You know, Aston Martin. I'm expecting them to take the title. Be close though, because the Alfa Romeos, you know, Campbell, yeah, you've both been in the same, you've both been teammates since what, season 4, season 5? So, oh, even earlier than that, actually, sorry, about season 3 or season 4, yeah, season 3, season 4 kind of time, season 5. So, I mean, it's, you know, you put two being together now for 3 seasons, you know, and you've won, what, 2 constructors with each other?
Nah, just the one last season.
Just the one. I mean, I'm expecting you guys to take it again anyway. Again, I don't know Hasses you can sleep on. And the Ferraris. Bowter's, again, been another one that's looked very good in the pre-season races. I'm pretty sure he won the pre-season race at France. So, ahead of Connor and ahead of Justas. So, I don't think Bowter's one that you can sleep on. I think he still needs to find his bearing on this game properly. But once he gets up to speed, I think that Ferrari pairing is just, yeah, they're going to be, I think, a dark horse in that. But Aston Martin, obviously AlphaTauri, you got Montana, as you said, doing his bit of charity work for Gary. Gary just trying to, you know, get himself involved because he keeps on telling me that I robbed his teammate. Tough. That's what you get for not picking him in the first place. And yeah, as I said, I think Aston Martin, Haas, and AlphaTauri, I think I'm going to be the top 3. But again, anyone can, because it's Division 1 and anything can just happen in Division 1. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Has anybody got anything else they want to talk about for all these 4 divisions?
6 relentless drivers in Division 1, but only 2 of them have decided to be on a pairing.
That's true. That's true. I'm surprised about that Rocco and Jeroen pairing. It feels like a bit of a stab in the back from Rocco to Dylan. So yeah, I think it's a bit of an interesting one. But yeah, as I said, I suppose that's just how it goes in Division 1. Verstappen, Swip, anything about any of the other divisions?
Not quite. I think I've said my words.
Yeah, I think so too. Just thinking about last season, I think QVR, you were one of the drivers who scored in every race, correct?
That'd be correct, yeah.
So this season's going to be important to keep on that streak and maybe set some records.
Hopefully. I think it's Nivo Luigi's record still of 36 races, I think it was in a row that he scored points. I think I need a couple more for that, so we'll have to see. But not going to be easy in this grid at least.
Well, I wish you luck, put it that way.
Yeah, it does. It is going to be a bit of a difficult one, and like I said, it's difficult to call throughout all 4 of the divisions who's going to take the title. Make sure you guys are tuning in for that one. First round, of course, being this Saturday at 6:30 p.m. British Standard Time for Division 1 and Division 3. Of course, Division 1 being covered by James Head and Killer Blue 295, and Division 3 covered by just Gamer 95 and Evil Dragon. And then at 8:10 p.m. British Standard Time, Division 2 and Division 4. Division 2 covered by myself and commentated, and Division 4 covered by, I believe it is the American pairing of Packer and Maverick. So make sure you guys are tuning in for that one. But all we've got to say is the car picks, get practicing, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of sweating going on as soon as this gets released. But yeah, make sure you guys do tune in for all 4 of those streams on the Saturday. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. And let's get Season 8 underway.